Hey there guys, it's D4A again and I have some good news. I have solved the issue. I have been troubleshooting almost the whole day yesterday and a bit this morning. I have been bench testing the fuel pump and there's nothing wrong with the fuel pump. There was a kink in the hose. The hose was kinky. So here's the deal. The kink wasn't anywhere at the fuel pump. It also wasn't anywhere at the carbs. It was right there at that little outlet I made on the fuel tank. Now let me zoom it in for you and give it some focus. As you can see, it's at a little bit of an angle, and when I cut it to size, the proper length to reach the fuel pump, it would get kinked, as I would attach it to the fuel pump because it was, kind of shorter than before, and the kink would appear right there. Now, why I never suspected there was a kink there was because that fuel filter, this guy right here, was always full of fuel. Now, what I forgot is that it was full of fuel because when I was installing this thing, I installed the fuel filter and just simply gravity fed this as I was wiggling it around. But when I installed the fuel pump right there into those two bolt holes, the kink would happen and the fuel pump couldn't suck in fuel and we couldn't, do anything. Now, and that's why the carbs were basically, when I opened up the fold bowls, were dry. Now, so what I did, when I was bench testing the fuel pump, I was actually kind of lazy, and these are the two hoses I used to bench test it. And when I was reinstalling it the second time after bench testing it, I simply connected the test hoses to my actual fuel lines. This gave it some more length and resolved the kink. So basically my laziness helped me get rid of the kink. And I figured out that was the issue. Then I removed these hoses and installed it back, and I saw the kink right there. Another thing that I managed to figure out this morning is why the wires that are powering the fuel pump weren't showing any power when I tested them with the fuel pump connected. Now, the deal was actually with my battery. Now, I did check my battery before I started putting together the engine and everything, and the battery was showing 12.8 volts, which is good. However, after that, I did quite a few cranking sessions to check whether there was spark and whether the spark was happening at the right time and, a bunch of other things. And that, of course, drained the battery. So I checked it again this morning and it had 11.2 volts, which is definitely not enough, and which is why there was no power at the wires when I would connect the fuel pump. So what I'm doing right now is I am trickle charging the battery, and it's going to be charged in a few hours, and I'm certain that this time, I'm actually 99.9% certain that this time the engine will fire up, because honestly, I have rechecked again everything this morning, the spark, the timing and everything else, and honestly, there's nothing more to check, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be firing up. Now, we are doing the live stream, therefore today, again, let me grab the camera. So we are doing the live stream again today, same time as last time, just a different day of the week. Now, for the sake of a reminder, here's the time, and you can see it again as last time in the description and in the pinned comment below. Now, I'm definitely starting the live stream today no matter what, and either one of two things are going to happen. I will be right, scenario one is 99.9% will prevail, the engine will fire up, and we are going to be happy. Or 0.01% is going to prevail, the engine is not going to start, and in that case, I will put my head under the oil pan and unbolt the engine mounts, and you are going to get a show either way. So, what I will be doing in the meantime is, right now I'm going home, and I'm upholding this, what I'm just saying, into the camera, and then I'm coming back, and then I'm setting up the recording setup. The live stream is going to be with a cell phone in 720p. I'm sorry, that's the best I can manage with the internet I have, but don't worry, there will be, as I promised, a high quality version as well, with some good cameras and some better audio equipment. So if you can't make it for the live stream, don't worry, there will be, a makeup session for you. So what I'm also doing is I'm going to be taking care of this terrible, disgusting mess. Whenever you move, I basically know where to step anymore, and whenever I turn, something falls or I break something. So this is definitely not a nice environment, for the first start of my engine. So I'll take care of this. So we have a nicer looking garage what I will probably be doing is just cramming everything into one place so you don't see it when I turn on the cameras. Okay, that's enough talking. See you at the live stream. D4A is out for now.